the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Dankert, would you do the roll call, please?
Mayor Steen.
Present.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Present.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Present.
Fisher.
Present.
Baskin.
Present.
Helly.
Present.
Waller.
Present.
King.
Present.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. For item 1, we need a motion for adoption of the agenda. We need a motion
With addition.
So moved.
with the addition. Second.
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta. Fisher.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King. Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Item 2 is a motion approving the minutes from August 3rd, 2020. We need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. We don't have anything under recognitions and awards, so we'll go to number 4. We need a motion for the consent agenda. Need a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Under public hearing, number 5 is a resolution reviewing a tax abatement application from New Horizon Homes in Nature Ridge Properties of Austin. Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mayor and members. This is at 1305 18th Drive Northeast in the Nature's Ridge subdivision. Estimated value of $349,900. Over the 5-year period, to receive abatement estimated at $8,880. The application is in conformance with our adopted policy. Council action is requested to approve the abatement, and this is a public hearing.
Council, any questions or comments?
I'm having a hard time hearing you guys tonight.
Uh-oh.
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 Microphones?
All of you.
Even me?
We can hear Tom Dankert.
Okay, McCoy, why don't you give a mic to
Can you hear the
Mayor Steen? Craig, would you want to give your mic to Austin? Volumes are turned up, sir?
Testing. It's
I'm
on.
not hearing anything out there.
Do I need to press a button
It should be, yeah, on the bottom.
to talk?
It's on.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Is anybody having trouble hearing me? Raise your hand if you can.
That's better.
Raise your
that's
hand if
better.
you can hear me.
Wipe it off, please.
I can't tell if they can hear me or not.
It sounds muffled.
Wipe. Well, it's because he's got a mask on. Would you wipe your mic off?
Okay, is this better? Okay, can everybody hear me now? I'm just gonna go forward then. We are on what? Craig, you're working on the tax abatement.
Yes. Any comments? And then ask if there's any public comment, because it is a public hearing.
Was there any comments from the council on the tax abatement on number 5? If not, it's a public hearing. Is there anybody here tonight that wishes to address the council on this? Kevin? Is mine working? Okay.
Yep, there it is again. Thank you.
Okay, where are we now?
Approval or denial of the tax abatement?
All right, if there's no comments, we need a resolution to either approve or deny.
I'd make the motion that we, oops.
Oh, there you go. I walked on Jason's resolution. I'll second Jason's resolution.
To approve, would that be correct, Jason?
Yes, to approve.
Okay, Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Plenty loud.
Okay. We're on under petitions and requests, number 6, I believe, right? Is a motion authorizing $2,500 from the 2020 contingency funds for downtown Christmas lights replacement. Mr. Lang.
Yes, this would just be formal action that we talked about at the work session at the last meeting to approve the $2,500 from contingency. We would look at getting new bulbs for the existing snowflakes, and we'll also look at possibly adding some color to those bulbs. Instead of them being all white, we may add a green or a red color as an accent light to the existing snowflake decorations.
Okay, council, do you have any questions or comments? We did go through this last work session. If not, we need a motion on number 6 authorizing the $2,500.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 7 is a motion approving 2021 Hormel Foundation grant rankings. Mr. Dankert.
As was approved at the last work session, the 10 items we requested from the Hormel Foundation through their grant processes are within your packets. The first one is a CHIP loan expansion for $100,000. Number 2 favorite was J.C. Hormel Nature Center education programs for $45,000. Number 3, delivering the data hotspot plans, $45,000. Number 4, Shirley Thiel Park drainage for $70,375. There's a tie for number 5, Todd Park Bridge for $100,500, and neighborhood revitalization community assessment for $68,426. Number 7 was tied for fire prevention education at $5,000 and transitional housing improvements for $36,540. Number 9 was library for anti-racism and diversity inclusion programming for $5,000, and then number 10 came in at the astronomy lesson, a mobile planetarium at $40,000. We'd request council approval of these to get those in for the contributions committee.
Council, we did this last meeting also. Do you have any questions or comments on this? If not, we need a motion to approve the grants.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 8 is a resolution accepting a pass-through grant from the Hormel Foundation for the Austin Area Commission for the Arts. Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mayor, members. We've been asked to be the fiscal host for a pass-through grant from the Hormel Foundation to the Austin Area Commission for the Arts in the amount up to $980,741. We're able to do this under Minnesota statutes 471.941 to support artistic organizations. Council action is requested to approve serving as the fiscal agent for the improvements.
Council, any questions or comments on number 8?
I just wanted to point out I'll be abstaining as I have a conflict of interest because that's my employer.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, we need a resolution for number 8.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Abstain.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0 with one abstaining, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 9 is a motion appointing Stephanie Holtorf to the Human Rights Commission, term expiring 12/31/2022. Unless there's any questions, we need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Pashusta,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 10 is a resolution accepting donations to the city of Austin. We do this every other week. It's housekeeping. We need a resolution.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Pashusta,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 11 is a resolution approving a DNR grant application for the purchase of 304 22nd Street Southwest. Mr. Lang?
Yeah, for this item, at this time, what we're looking for is a request from council or permission from council to look to acquire a property at 304 22nd Street Southwest. This property is one of the few properties located along Turtle Creek that actually falls within the existing floodplain boundary. There were questions about some of these properties when we moved forward the Turtle Creek flood control projects that are a little further south, and we indicated that there isn't a levee protection plan for this area, pretty much from Oakland Avenue south to 6th Avenue. We would look at individual property acquisitions as needed. This property at 304 has had multiple flood insurance claims, which makes it eligible for a federal grant. And we would look for permission tonight to pursue opportunities for a FEMA federal grant that could fund up to 75% of the acquisition costs. With it, we would pair that with a DNR grant that would cover 12.5% of the cost, and then the remaining 12.5 would be covered by local option sales tax. And tonight, we're looking for council authorization to pursue those grants and also authorize the mayor to sign any necessary grant documents.
Council, do you have any questions? Questions or comments? If not, we need a resolution for number 11.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Pashusta,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 12 is a resolution approving a contract with Live Barn Broadcasting. Craig?
Thank you, Mayor, members. We have received signatures on the contract. We had anticipated moving this to the work session, but subsequently we have gotten final signatures from the folks from Live Barn. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Nelson to give you the update.
The contract before you was one from Live Barn. It's used for live streaming programming for youth hockey to people who aren't present, of course, for live streaming purposes. And the contract was reviewed by League of Minnesota Cities contract attorney. He made some suggestions. Those suggestions were implemented into the contract, and it has since been signed by the Live Barn representative. There is no cost for operation or installation to the city.
Thank you. Council, do you have any comments or questions?
Just want to compliment Park and Rec and the youth hockey. I think this is a great idea, and really nice job.
Yep, thank you, Kevin. Anybody else? If not, we need a resolution for number 12.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dinkert.
Councilmember Pashusta,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 13 is a resolution in support of a bonding bill. Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mayor, members. This is a resolution to highlight our interest in seeing a bonding bill yet through these special sessions. The economy and broader stimulation of the economy would be very helpful, and there's many important infrastructure projects in the state bonding bill. Of them are $78 million for a wastewater treatment facility. So this lends our voice to encourage the legislature and governor to come together in a bipartisan way to produce a bonding bill. The resolution will be forwarded to the top elected officials in the state. We'd ask council approval for the resolution.
Council, no, kind of a no-brainer. We need a resolution for 13.
So move the resolution.
Second. Any more? I'm sorry, I didn't give anybody a chance to comment. Anybody have any comments on it? If not, we need a resolution, or Mr. Dankert?
Motion by Councilmember Austin, second by Councilmember King to approve. Councilmember Pashusta,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 14 is a motion reviewing a planned unit development for the property at 1500 7th Avenue Northwest. Craig, or Holly. Where's Holly?
Yeah, this was mine. Mayor and council members, during the August 12th, 2020 meeting of the Austin Planning Commission, the commission reviewed a preliminary and final plan development. The petitioner had brought a concept plan for this development earlier, which was approved. The property is located at 1500 7th Avenue Northwest. It has this really long and complicated history from a land use perspective. The petitioner bought the property not realizing that it was no longer considered a non-conforming use for the purposes of a car dealership. He attempted to rezone it to commercial, but the overall feeling from Planning Commission and ultimately from the council was that maybe that zoning designation was too broad. So in order to try to find a middle ground that would allow both the use which had existed in that neighborhood for many years, decades, and also to protect the surrounding residential area and uses, the planned development option was suggested. The petitioner has submitted, as noted, the preliminary and final plan. It includes a number of details regarding parking, site dimensions, lighting, hours of operation, and several other items. If you want me to go through any of those in detail, or if you have any questions about any of those items, I can do that. Two neighbors had previously attended meetings that had expressed concerns. The neighbors immediately to the west, Thiesens, they did accept the plan as proposed, primarily due to the fact that any subsequent uses would also be subject to this plan. And if anything else was proposed for that area, they would have to come back to Planning Commission and Council. The other neighbor who expressed concerns, Mr. Helmers, sold his property, so is no longer an issue for him. After reviewing the proposal, the Planning Commission with 5 members present approved 4-1 with the conditions that accessible parking be added as required, lighting for the business be off at 9 p.m., the privacy fence remains and is maintained, and the traffic plan and parking could be reviewed by the city as we determine it is needed. And this recommendation comes from a discussion of the details required by the ordinance and consideration of how the proposal might impact the area and whether it's within the realm of uses allowed by the planned development ordinance. I have nothing else.
Council, any questions? We kicked this around quite a bit and went through this over and over, and I think we finally got it right. So I think this is a good motion to pass. Anyway, we need a motion for 14?
I just have one question. On the lot lighting for the business having to be off at 9 p.m., how was that decided? I was thinking 10 might be a more appropriate time. How did it become 9 p.m.?
One of the planning commission members suggested it, I guess primarily out of concern for the residents. The petitioner did agree. He didn't express any other alternatives or any concerns about that requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and the petitioner did attend that meeting in person.
Any other questions, comments? If not, we need a
Just want to
motion.
compliment Holly and the planning commission and everybody that worked on this. You know, I know this was a pretty tough issue that we had, you know, in November, and I really appreciate that we looked and found some flexibility. We're going to find a solution to have a business, you know, open up in Austin, which is obviously what we're trying to do from an economic development and something that works for the neighborhood. So nice job figuring out flexibility within the rigid structures of zoning law.
Thanks, Jason. I think I agree. I think we got this one right. Anybody else? If not, we need a motion for 14.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
I think that's
Is that an aye?
we're losing her.
Thumbs up, Rebecca, if that's an aye.
Aye, yes.
Okay. Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 15 is a resolution accepting election results from the August 11th, 2020 primary election. Ann, did you want to say anything, or?
Sure. The canvassing board met last Friday to canvass the results of the election, and then the mayor went to the county canvassing board. So we have the official results of the mayor primary. So Mr. King and Mr. Austin will be moving on. The other candidates are listed on the resolution along with the Austin Utility Commissioner positions.
Thank you, Ann. Where are we at? I'm sorry.
Resolution to approve, Your Honor.
Okay, we need a resolution to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert. Oh, at 15.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's the end of our regular meeting. Are there any citizens present, either here or online, that would wish to address the council on any issue? If not, we will give our honor.
Dora,
Joanne?
honorary council member.
Elaine, go ahead. Elaine? Yes.
Hi, I just want to thank you again for your support for our gambling raffle. That is for our Ladies Night Out event that we're planning to have. And again, that helps to support non-traditional female students at Riverland and also programming within the Chamber for business women. So thank you again for your support.
Well, thank you, Elaine. Anybody else? If not, we ask
Dora Martinez.
Dora Martinez. Dora, did you have any comments about the event so far?
No, I'm good.
You're good, okay. You'll get an opportunity every meeting. Otherwise, reports or recommendations. Tom, do you wanna?
All right. Councilmember Pashusta.
I just want to mention that the Senior Center Board, we are in need of board members. So if anybody is interested, they can contact me or Sarah at the Senior Center.
Okay. Thank you, Joyce. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher.
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Councilmember Baskin.
Just want to compliment Ann and her staff and Scott Felton and the staff in the auditor's office on a really well-run primary last week. from all reports, very well run, very efficient. And the fact that we had results by like 10:30 at night instead of 10:30 the next night was a huge improvement, and a lot of that was due to the work that they did. So we should be really proud and well positioned for the general election. So nice job, guys.
When we did the canvassing, the county was very happy with the city, and they were just very happy and said things were working out real good there. They were impressed by our city clerk. Okay, I'm sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Councilmember Helly.
So on that same theme, I just want to comment that Austin's turnout for the primary was 24% of all eligible voters. That's great for a primary. I hope we continue to participate at high numbers for the general election on November 3rd. I would also want to share that of those 24% of our Austin voters, 2/3 of them, 63%, voted absentee. So I know there's a lot going around on the internet about what kind of voting is safe and what kind of voting is not safe, but people should understand that here in Austin we were able to conduct in-person voting safely, including some people who voted curbside. And we also were able to conduct mail-in safely, and we also were able to have people physically bring their ballot in if they didn't want to use the mail. So don't feel like we can't handle whatever you're going to find as the most safe way to vote. We will handle it. Ann and her team did an excellent job for the city. We really just couldn't ask for anything better. So it's safe, it's accurate. Please vote again on November 3rd.
Thank you, Laura.
Councilmember Waller.
I have nothing.
Councilmember King.
Yeah, I found it remarkable that I don't remember when the last time there was a mayoral primary, but to go from 850 voters in a primary to this current one was almost 3,000. That's remarkable. Also, I'd like to commend Brian Heimer, although he didn't make it to the primary. I think it's real healthy that the city of Austin had 3 candidates put their name in for mayor. I think again that's very healthy, and commend Brian for his campaign.
Thank you, Steve.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Ann and her crew, Cheryl, on a great job done with the elections, as everybody has said, and to Amanda at the county as well. Also, congratulations, Steve, for making it through, and to commend Mr. Heimer as well for participating and raising some good issues in the process. We had, a great turnout, even though it was low, considering that was really the only thing that people had to vote on. To get that many people out to vote was pretty good, I thought. So I'm sure, as usual, we will have high turnout in November, so look forward to that.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mayor Steam.
Just want to echo what the other people have said. I think we did have pretty good turnout for what we had on the ballot. I want to thank Mr. Heimer for throwing his hat in. It's always healthy. Other than that, look forward to the elections in November. Craig, you have anything?
Yes, League of Minnesota City staff and the Association of Minnesota Counties met with outgoing Minnesota Management and Budget Commissioner Myron France. And I thought there were some interesting points there, though a little bit gloom. I thought I'd share them with council. Some of the takeaways that they had was that he felt the recession will be deeper than first thought. The recovery will be slower than first thought. The federal stimulus is greatly needed, though unlikely. The state is experiencing $3.6 billion drop in annual revenue. The state did recently refinance some debt, saving about $100 million in interest charges, but he does have hope and optimism about the economy in Minnesota, but some kind of warning signals continue from the outgoing Commissioner of Minnesota Management and Budget. Other than that, that's all that I have.
All right, and nobody has anything else, we need a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, if nobody has anything else, we need a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin.
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor. If we could take a 5-minute break or so to finalize things out.
Okay, we're gonna take a 5-minute break for something electric, and then we'll be back.
And just want to let council know, this is our second or third microphone camera. We've got another one for a backup to be on order. It's 2 months delayed already. So, it appears everybody's ordering cameras and you can't get them anywhere. So we might have to reroute what we do here.
You want my microphone?
Where in the world is Rebecca Waller? We have to do an episode on that.
Yeah, she's not in the car. That's her motif in her living room.
I don't know. I mean, she's like all over. She just travels.